Good evening and welcome to ICU TV Main News. Let's take a look at the top stories making headlines. 3 juveniles drowned in separate incidents in Petaoke. 6 relatives sentenced to life imprisonment for murdering elderly man in Chikankata. Government dismisses claims of collapsed higher education sector. In international news, ICC prosecutors seek life sentence for Sudanese militia leader. In sports news, Chipolopolo head coach discharged after suspected food poisoning. Three juveniles have drowned in 2 separate incidents in Petaoke district. 2 of the victims, both aged 10, drowned while swimming in the Nyaluombo stream in Senior Chief Kalindawalo's area. They have been identified as Takuda Njovu and Joseph Piri, both of Mataya village. The third incident involved 8-year-old Mapalo Mkuka of Minga's Top area in Chief Mombi's jurisdiction, who also drowned while swimming with a friend. Eastern Province Police Commanding Officer Robertson Mwemba confirmed the incident and said all the 3 bodies have been retrieved. 6 relatives have been sentenced to life imprisonment for the brutal murder of an elderly man in Chikankata district. The convicts accused the victim of witchcraft following a family death and attacked him during a burial. They struck him with stones and axes before setting him on fire. Precious Banda has more in this report.
Six individuals have been sentenced to life imprisonment for the brutal murder of their relative who was suspected of being a witch. The incident occurred on July 25, 2022 during a burial in Chikankata district. The convicts believe the elderly man was responsible for the death of his sister-in-law, Terine Mululuma. The deceased's son, Clifford Monga, told the court that during the burial conducted by an STA pastor, he saw one of the convicts, Mumbuna, strike the coffin with a stick while uttering words towards it. As the coffin was taken for burial, he saw Bright Monga and others acting as pallbearer moves in cycle and soon realized the burial would not proceed. The deceased's grandson testified in court that he saw Web Monga, Wisdom Monga, and Mumbuna assaulting his grandfather. He said Fred hit him with a stone and Wisdom struck him 3 times on the head with an axe. He stated that they kept hitting him and then they set him on fire. The court heard that the attack was unprovoked and brutal. Judge Catherine Mulengalombe ruled that the deceased's death was unlawful, resulting from a brutal assault involving multiple attackers. The prosecution witnesses, including deceased's son, Clifford Monga, and his grandson, were credible and their accounts were corroborated by other evidence. The 6 convicts, Mumbuna Mambole, Winter Monga, Jimmy, Clever Monga, Bright Ngandu, and Wisdom Selela, have been sentenced to life imprisonment with hard labor for their murder. Justice has been served for the victim and his family. Precious Banda reporting for ICU TV News in Lusaka.
has refuted claims by Patriotic Front presidential aspirant Makebi Zulu that the country's higher education sector has collapsed. The Ministry of Education says the sector has continued to record positive growth under the UPND administration. Permanent Secretary for Technical Services Kelvin Mambwe has cited an increase in students accessing government-sponsored loans now above 45,000 compared to 23,000 under the previous regime. The loan scheme has also been expanded to all 10 public universities, and meal allowances previously scrapped have been reintroduced. Government maintains these measures demonstrate a commitment to student welfare and educational equity. We now take a short break. Stay tuned for more news.
The Information and Communications University is driving the thrill for the nation in research and development. Enroll now for full-time and distance programs in the School of Engineering, Humanities, Business and Education. To apply, visit our website at www.icuzambia.net or call us on +260 211 221 662 or 0966 342 359. Sponsorship is available. Enroll now.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. To continue with the news in our local stories, Vice President Dr. W.K. Mtalena Lumango urged young people to seize opportunities in agriculture and the green economy as she officially opened the 2025 Youth Connect National Summit at the Government Complex in Lusaka. Addressing over 500 youth innovators, policymakers, and development partners, the Vice President emphasized that agriculture is no longer just a traditional livelihood, but a gateway to innovation, empowerment, and sustainable development, encouraging young people to embrace climate-smart practices, digital tools, and entrepreneurial approaches to turn farming into a modern and profitable enterprise. Mrs. Nalumango assured participants that the government is committed to supporting young-led enterprises through skills development, access to finance, and platforms for innovation, urging them to dream big, collaborate, and take bold steps to transform Zambia's agricultural sector. Meanwhile, Honorable Elvis Sinkandu, Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts, held the Youth Connect Zambia chapter for creating platforms that bridge the gap between police and opportunities, citing training of over 400 youths in agribusiness, financial literacy, and climate-smart practices, and support for more than 60 youth-led enterprises. United Nations President Coordinator Ms. Beatrice Montali commended the government and its partners for enabling youth innovation and leadership through initiatives such as the Youth 2030 strategy. Residents of Ndeke in Kitwe are today assessing damage after a night-long downpour flooded dozens of households, caused walls to collapse, and destroyed property. The worst affected areas included Ndeke Sub-A, Ndeke Changa plots, and Ndeke Presidential, where families walk to scenes of devastation. Our reporter Misha Kimfune has more in this report.
It was a long and hectic night for many Kitwe residents. A heavy downpour, which started late in the evening and persisted into the early hours of the morning, has left a trail of destruction across the city. By daybreak, flooded homes, damaged household property, and submerged yards told a story of a community caught off guard by the intensity of the rains. In several townships, residents woke up to block access roads with heaps of debris, fallen trees, and washed away soil, cutting off key roads for daily movements. Boundary walls and security fences, some stretching across busy walkways, were brought down by rushing water, leaving homes exposed and streets littered with concrete blocks. In areas like Chamboli, Ndeke, and Molenga, residents spent the early hours trying to salvage what they could. For many families, The sudden flooding meant losing essential belongings such as mattresses, food supplies, electrical appliances, and children's school materials. Some say they were forced to stay awake throughout the night, moving items to higher ground as water levels continued to rise.
It has been a long night for us in Ndeke residents. We've not been able to sleep. We've moved around the whole night trying to shift things, trying to find a place at least where you can safeguard especially foodstuffs. Especially those of us that have even babies.
The extent of the destruction is most visible in the Ndeke area of Kwamfinsa constituency, where residents are counting significant losses. In Ndeke Sub-A, 18 houses were damaged, while Ndeke Changa plots recorded 7 houses affected. Nearby, in Ndeke Presidential, 8 homes were hit by the rushing water. Many of the collapsed offences and flooded yards point to the same underlying issue: poor or blocked drainage within the residential spaces. Kamfinsa Member of Parliament Christopher Kangombe has since urged the residents to work together in preventing such devastating issues.
So pressure actually because in case we are then rains here paraphilia, we are losing this one also.
The Kitwe City Council and other authorities are assessing the extent of the damage. They say emergency response teams have been deployed to clear blocked roads and support affected households. Meanwhile, the Meteorological Department has warned that rainfall activities are expected to continue across parts of the country, and residents are urged to stay alert and take precautionary measures. As Kitwe deals with the aftermath of the night's downpour, many residents are hoping for quick intervention and clearer skies. Reporting for ICU TV in Kitwe, I am Mishek Mfune.
The Minister of Health, Honorable Dr. Elijah Muchima, officially opened the 3rd Regional Advisory Committee meeting held at Bradson Blue Hotel in Lusaka, Zambia. The meeting aims to address pressing health issues and strengthening regional health care collaboration. Beauty Konde has more in this report.
The Minister of Health, Honorable Dr. Elijah Muchima, has officially opened the 3rd Regional Advisory Committee (RAC) meeting under the Health Emergency Preparedness, Response and Resilience Program for Eastern and Southern Africa. This high-level gathering brings together regional health leaders, IGAD, ECSA, HC and the World Bank to strengthen collaboration and reinforce systems that safeguard the region against public health threats. The Health Emergency Preparedness, Response and Resilience Program aims to enhance multi-sector preparedness and response to health emergencies across Eastern, Central and Southern Africa, with a $1 billion funding from the World Bank over 7 years. The program will focus on strengthening health systems, improving local capacity for vaccine and pharmaceutical manufacturing, and training healthcare workers on climate change and emergency preparedness and response.
As we convene this important regional advisory committee meeting on the health emergency preparedness, response and resilience, outfaced pragmatic approach. Coming at a time when Zambia is now experiencing rain, and as a tradition, we are scared of cholera. And the first question is, how prepared are you? We have to share this experience together. How do we get it? We not get it. We had it in KHASHOGGI, we had it in Esparisa, we had at times mostly in our compound here called Kenyana. We should not be ashamed to talk about this outbreaks. We should be ashamed for having no good effort to eradicate it. It is with us. And the person to blame is ourselves. Child begins at home. If we are taught properly, we could not cause problems of cholera. Because it's a huge issue. But one big issue is water underground. But who contaminates that? It's ourselves. These are health
Dr. Mchima's presence underscores the government's commitment to strengthening regional health partnerships and improving healthcare outcomes. Reporting for ICU TV News, I am Beauty Nkonde.
Government has so far paid 6,109,350,000 kwacha to farmers who supplied maize to the Food Reserve Agency during the 2025 crop marketing season. Agriculture Minister Ruben Ntolo told Parliament that 4.88 billion kwacha was paid directly to farmers, while 1.27 billion kwacha covered auxiliary costs under the maize purchase program. Despite an initial target of 543,000 metric tons worth 3.69 billion kwacha, the FAO received 1.66 million metric tons from 846,655 farmers, a 307% increase, pushing total costs to 11.31 billion kwacha. Mr. Ntolo said government allowed farmers to continue delivering maize to ensure fair prices and protect national food security. He assured Parliament that the remaining balance will be settled and that all maize is now safely stored following the season's close on the 31st of October 2025. Zambia and the United States have cemented a partnership aimed at strengthening healthcare delivery through a substantial grant assistance package over the next 5 years. A high-level U.S. government delegation led by Brad Smith, senior health advisor at the U.S. Department of State, recently visited Zambia to finalize the agreement. The partnership is designed to boost health system and services while supporting Zambia's goal of gradually transforming from aid deficiency to self-sufficiency. Under the framework, both countries have committed the specific funding levels and health outcomes targets, ensuring a coordinated, results-based approach to sector development. The collaboration marks a significant milestone in advancing Zambia's development agenda with a focus of sustainability, ownership, and improved health outcomes.
Zambia and the United States of America forged a new partnership to strengthen health sector. A high-power level delegation from the United States of America government has visited Zambia, marking a significant milestone in the country's health sector. The delegation, led by United States State Department Senior Health Advisor Brad Smith, held talks with Zambian government officials to discuss a substantial grant assistance package aimed at transforming Zambia's health systems and services. Now, this new partnership seeks to empower Zambia to take ownership of its health sector, shifting from reliance on aid to self-sufficiency. And so, over the next 5 years, the United States government will provide significant grant assistance to support Zambia's health systems and services, with both governments committing to specific funding levels and health outcome targets. This partnership...
You are still watching ICU TV Main News. We take another break, and coming up next is international and sports news. Stay tuned.
The Information and Communications University is driving the thrill for the nation in research and development. Enroll now for full-time and distance programs in the School of Engineering, Humanities, Business and Education. To apply, visit our website at www.icuzambia.net or call us on +260 211 221 662 or 0966 342 359. Sponsorship is available. Enroll now.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. To continue with the news, in international news, prosecutors at the International Criminal Court have called for a life sentence for Ali Muhammad, also known as Ali Kushab, who was convicted of crimes against humanity during Sudanese civil war over 2 decades ago. The sentencing hearing opened on Tuesday with prosecutor Julian Nicholas describing Mohammed as an enthusiastic, energetic, and effective perpetrator of atrocities in Darfur. The ICC found him guilty of mass killings, prosecutions, and other inhuman acts, including personal killing 2 victims with an axe. He is the first person convicted by the court for crimes committed in Darfur. We are still in international news. Armed men have stormed a girls' secondary school in Maga, Kebbi State, killing a teacher and abducting at least 25 students in a pre-dawn attack that highlights the growing security crisis in northern Nigeria. The attackers, identified locally as bandits, invaded Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School around 04 local time on Monday. They engaged police guards in a gunfight before breaching the school's perimeter and dragging students from their hostels. One staff member was shot dead while trying to protect the students, and another suffered gunshot injuries and is receiving treatment. Eyewitnesses reported that the gunmen fired sporadically to cause panic before escaping with the girls into nearby forests. Security forces, including police tactical units, military personnel, and vigilante groups, have been deployed to conduct a search and rescue operations. This marks the first major school abduction since March 2024, when over 200 students were taken from a school in Kaduna State. Nigeria continues to grapple with frequent school attacks as armed groups target students for ransom or political leverage. We take a short break. Coming up next is sports news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In sports news, Chipolopolo head coach Moses Chone and video analyst Elias Chipota have been discharged from a South African hospital after being treated for suspected food poisoning. Their release comes as the national team prepares to face Angola in an international friendly match earlier today. Our reporter Mishek Mfune has more in this report.
The Football Association of Zambia, FAZ, says that the 2 Chipolopolo technical staff members, head coach Moses Sichone and video analyst Elias Chipota, have been discharged from St. George Private Hospital in Port Elizabeth, where they were admitted for suspected food poisoning. FAZ General Secretary Machacha Shampande confirmed that the duo was discharged this morning and is expected to fly back home on Wednesday. Team Dr. Wesley Ngongo, who has been supervising their treatment, also affirmed that both men are out of danger.
Good news is that Moses Sichone, who had remained admitted in hospital in Port Elizabeth, together with Elias, the videographer, the video analyst, the 2 have been discharged and they should be on their way home by tomorrow.
Their discharge comes just 24 hours after midfielder Miguel Chaiwa was released from the same facility, having been admitted with a similar symptom.
The team has a clean bill of health. Nobody has any complications or injuries, and the team spirit is very high. Everybody is looking forward to the game, which starts off.
Sichone, Chipota and Chaiwa were part of the several team members affected by what FAZ has described as suspected food poisoning, while others were treated within the camp. Football legend Kalusha Bwalia, who also serves as FAZ Technical Committee Vice Chairperson, was forced to withdraw from the upcoming Angola assignment as he recovered. Meanwhile, Zambia faces Angola today in their second FIFA International Friendly match at the November 11 Stadium in Luanda, kicking off at 18 hours Central African Time. Reporting for ICU TV in Lusaka, I am Funemi Sheikh.
And that sports item brings us to the end of our main news today. But before we go, a quick recap on the stories that made headlines. 3 juveniles drowned in separate incidents in Petawoke. 6 relatives sentenced to life imprisonment for murdering elderly man in Chikankata. Government dismisses claims of collapsed higher education sector. In international news, ICC prosecutors seek life sentence for Sudanese militia leader. And in sports news, Chipolopolo head coach discharged after suspected food poisoning. Thank you so much for watching. For more news updates, please stay glued to our Facebook page at ICU TV and our website at icutvzm.com. It has been Yamba Margaret on the news desk today. Good night.